to Currently Drinking episode number 5 of
Brutal Battle.
So usually when we do these episodes, it's just us drinking beers that we happen to have, that we went out and got. And a lot of times it's from our favorite breweries, and for this one, it's no different. It is our favorite brewery in Maryland, which, you know, we've had a good amount of their beers on the podcast.
It's so hard not to, because they're so damn good.
But the good thing, too, like, some people might just be like, oh, you know, it keeps us from having more of a variety on. But the good thing is, Sapwood Cellars in Columbia, Maryland, puts out a big variety of beers.
Yeah.
So we're always having different stuff from them on the podcast. And also, you know, always sticking to our rule of not repeating beers on the podcast for the most part.
Well, not always, but...
Well, in different settings, we will repeat it. Like, if it's like pairing it with some food, or if it's an aged version or something like that. But for the most part, it's unique beers. But so we did go to Sapwood recently to pick up some beers, and we did actually talk to one of the owners, Michael Tonsmeyer, who was a very nice person. And we had some great beer conversation with him and talked real nerdy about a lot of the stuff that they do there and a lot of stuff they're working on, and just like beer industry stuff in general. It was a great time. So, Mike, if you end up hearing this, thank you very much for the talk, and it was awesome. It was a lot of fun. It's just always fun to nerd out with someone else who's nerdy about what you're into. You know what I mean?
And most beer people are like super cool and nice.
That's true. That's very true. Including the staff they have at Sapwood.
Oh, yeah.
Always super
always
nice
good.
and helpful. So for this one, I picked one of the beers. You picked one of the beers. I mean, they're both going to be good. The first one we've actually had. The second one we have not had before. But, Rebecca, you want to introduce your pick first?
Yeah, this was my pick. So we had this one while we were there. Good enough to come home with. And
Not
I think,
good enough. Real good.
Well, I think it's hard to pick what you take home with. Because now it's a good thing, but it does like make you want to buy a lot.
Yes.
They do mix 4-packs, which is super fun. So you always can go home with a nice variety of what you like, and maybe things that you want to try.
But we try to not have too much beer in the household, because we do go out, to other breweries and want to bring some stuff home, or need to go out to the store to bring back beers for like mystery beers episodes or on the shelf episodes or stuff like that. So
yeah. So my pick is called Dragon Reborn. It is a rye pale ale, double dry hopped with Mosaic Cryo and Hallertau Blanc.
Yes.
Do you want me to read the flavor text?
Not yet.
Okay.
After we have it. I mean, we've already had it, but it's been like a week.
I'm not sure if it's flavor text or just like a little bit about the beer.
Right.
Oh, and I should have had you read what was on the bottom. They normally put like funny things on the bottom of the cans.
It's too late now because it's open.
Well,
that'd be a real
I can still
issue
look it up
if
and
I
look.
tried to do that now.
I think this was like the first beer I picked.
This was the first beer that you got a pour of. And it's good. And they have a whole line of the Dragon beers, and they're all hoppy, and to my recollection, I don't think we've had one of the Dragon beers that we didn't really like. They've all been real good.
I think one of my favorite is Holiday Dragon.
Holiday Dragon is great, which we have had on the podcast before.
Yeah.
I think one that really sticks out in my mind, and I don't remember why I liked it so much, but White Dragon.
Okay.
We had that at, I think we may have talked about it on the podcast, but we went to Braglio Farms for their Oktoberfest, and Sapwood was there, and they were pouring White Dragon, and it was awesome. I had two of those. Looks like a hazy IPA.
Yeah.
And Sapwood does excellent hazy IPAs.
Yeah, it's kind of...
Ooh, I smell that rye, immediately. It's like that nice kind of like spicy earthiness.
Yeah.
Really.
Almost peppery.
Yeah, almost peppery. I would say that. That's a good point. And then it's just got like this vibrant kind of oranginess to it. Some pine in there.
Like sweet orange.
Yeah, sweet orange, a little bit of pine. A little grapefruit.
I was going to say mango.
Yeah, I could see some mango.
Whenever I sniff a lot, I want to cough.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't say what the ABV was.
We should be putting rye in more beers.
It's only 6%.
Yeah, perfect.
Great.
low ABV, for lowish ABV, and yeah, tastes great. It's very smooth.
Yeah, very good.
Very smooth. Get a lot of that rye up front, that kind of like spicy earthiness that we were talking about. And then it transitions over to like the citrusy quality.
I'm getting more pineapple in the taste.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think partly we've also been eating a lot of pineapple, so it's like fresh in my mind.
Sure.
And it's like juicy like pineapple.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Like my mouth is so like watery.
Like the rye and the citrus notes bounce it out really well, in my opinion, because they're such like differing flavors. But they work together so well.
Yeah, it's really tasty.
Yeah, it's great. I love this beer. It's very
I'll read what's on the side.
Yeah.
It says, we opened in September 2018 with a beer called False Dragon on tap. It was an imitator of the true Dragon Reborn. This is a stronger beer with more rye for an even creamier body. I would say it's kind of creamy.
Yeah. Yeah.
We dry hopped the same combination of Hallertau Blanc and Mosaic, but this time we used Cryo Mosaic for an even punchier, dank, winey aroma. We first brewed this recipe as a draft-only offering in 2019, and here it is 5 years later in a can for the first time.
Nice.
Go with the light, Mike and Scott.
Don't tip it too much. Just trying to read
There's nothing funny on the bottom. It just has a canned on date. They used to have like something funny on the bottom. Like maybe they weren't funny, just like a little like tagline or something about the beer.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the second beer, and this is one of their sours, and it is one that we haven't had before. It is called Polite Company. It's in a 500 milliliter bottle, I believe. Yeah, 500 milliliter. And it's wild ale aged in gin barrels with nectarines.
And what's the ABV?
6.4.
Okay,
so low. It's not a big one. I'll pop that top. I'm excited about this because we had one beer done in gin barrels by them before, and it was really good. And
they use local gin barrels, don't they?
Yeah, I believe they do. But I mean, I'm always really interested in their sours, and typically what I've found is that, what we've found is that when they do sours, they don't get like super sour. Typically, it's usually like pretty.
Yeah, it's
pretty manageable.
It's not like rip your face off.
Yeah, exactly. It's more nuanced, more finesse.
It looks very carbonated.
Yeah, it does look very carbonated.
It looks very similar
to the Dragon Reborn.
It's just a little lighter.
Yeah, a little lighter in color. But pretty similar.
Yellow and hazy.
I'm hoping for a lot of nectarine on the nose.
Very ginny.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh,
gin.
That's a lot of gin. Obviously, that juniper berry. There's a lot of wood in there, too, from the barrel.
Yeah.
Which I'm liking how that's coming through. And there's a funkiness to it that's
really
nice.
Funky.
It's got a little bit of that pencil shaving smell to it.
When you the end of my sniff, I'm getting a fruit. I don't know if I would pick nectarine, but I would say peach, nectarine, plum, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure I can really pick out nectarine definitively.
You get a fruit at the end of the sniff.
Well, and there is that, like, what you get with a lot of sours, just that lemony sourness that you can smell. Yeah, it's a lot of the barrel on the front of the nose.
I hope we get the nectarine.
Yeah. Interested to know what the flavor will be like, so.
Oh, it's there.
Very smooth. Very light.
It is.
It's very light. Oh, man. It's such a delicate beer. I was going to look when it was brewed.
Every time Carlin wants to drink a sour from there, I'm always like, I don't want to. And then every time I like it.
Yeah. So it was brewed in like mid-April of 2022 and then bottled in September of 2023.
Okay.
So when we're having it now, it's close to a year in the bottle. Not far off, like a month and a week, basically.
Yeah, it's really tasty. I like it. Does this live up to your expectations? Or are you a little disappointed?
I didn't really have expectations. I just kind of, I guess
you did have expectations.
Yeah, that's true. I guess the expectation was just I wanted to taste the gin,
which you definitely do,
but not have it overbearing and get the fruit to it. And I think that it does. Yeah,
that. It definitely does that.
It's very light.
For me, this exceeded my expectations.
Mm-hmm. It's so easy, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's such an easy drinker.
I mean, it's definitely sour, but it's like...
I'd say it's like low tartness.
Yeah.
Like, it's tart, but it's like low tart. And
perfect for me.
You definitely get the nectarine on it, and it's primarily on the end. Like, the way it presents in the nose is kind of the way it presents in the flavor, where it's like, you know, the gin flavor and the woodiness, and then that, like, lemony sour, and then that nectarine's kind of on the end of it. But yeah, this is way more slammable than you would assume.
Sure.
Like, you could just, like, pound this easily.
I mean, I don't know why you would want to, though, because it's definitely a beer I want to pay attention to because it's so nuanced. Yeah,
it's a very finesse beer, and I think that the gin is adding, like, this nice, like, spicy, earthy character. Kind of like the rye in the Dragon Reborn is adding. And it just works so well in contrast with that lemony sour and that nectarine. And then the funkiness is there, but it's not as pronounced as on the aroma. It's very good.
Now, something they're doing that we learned when we were there that's kind of neat about their sour beers are they're doing bottle pours.
Yes, they just started that recently.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they do 5-ounce bottle pours, and they rotate like 3 different bottles per like weekend. So kind of fun.
Here's an interesting thing to do. After having the sour, go back to the Dragon Reborn and you taste the rye a lot more. And it's a little caramelly on the flavor too.
Good.
Like, honestly, I think drinking the Polite Company and then going to the Dragon Reborn, I like the Dragon Reborn even more, honestly.
Yeah, I like both these beers a lot. Are we picking a winner?
Yeah. I mean, I got to go Polite Company because it takes a lot more time. There's a lot more that goes into that type of beer. And it's very hard to get a sour finessed like this, especially one that's aged in a spirit barrel. And also, how often do you have gin barrel aged beers? That's another thing.
Okay, I am going to have to agree with you, surprisingly. Just because of all the reasons you said. Like, it is so approachable and delicate and flavorful, yet easy to drink, yet there's just like so many different like layers to this beer. And there are a lot of really good hoppy beers out there. But Dragon Reborn is very good.
Yes. Yeah, I love it.
Like, it's kind of hard because like what I want to have in my fridge all the time to drink is Dragon Reborn.
Sure.
I think it's just like an easy, like, almost every, like, you could drink it, not every day. I wouldn't want to drink it every day, but the Polite Company, I kind of have to be in the right mood for.
Yeah, I get that.
But I can appreciate its qualities.
But I do think that it's aptly named because if you think about, like, how the beer presents, it's like having over Polite Company. Like, it's a nice time. Yeah. It's very, like, smooth and easy and enjoyable. It's like having Polite Company.
Is there anything on the back of the bottle?
Oh, yeah, there is. I should read that. The combination of bright stone fruit. I hate that term.
I know you do. I think it's funny.
It could be so many things.
But it does, like, if I could see, because it definitely could be peach, it could be plum.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Anyway, keep going.
The combination of bright stone fruit and herbal gin barrel aging is one of our favorite combinations. Me too. We kept the acidity low on the base beer to ensure a bright, drinkable balance of juniper notes from the barrel and the honey floral notes from jade white nectarines from Twin Springs Fruit Farm in Ortona, Pennsylvania. It's a beer that will help you recall summertime evenings no matter what the weather is outside.
Yeah.
And I love this, that they have recommendations on how long you can cellar it. They say you can cellar up to 4 years is what they recommend. So, yeah.
Because as you know, if you've listened to the podcast, not all beer does well with age.
No. But at the same time, some beer does a lot better than you would assume with age.
Yeah. We've had some stinkers and some surprises.
That's why we do the experimenting for you a lot of times. So anyway, thank you to everyone for listening to this. Always a great time, especially to do currently drinkings. Cause
it's just like, what do I want to drink tonight?
Well, and it's like always stuff that we know is going to be good because it comes from great breweries. So yeah, but anyway, thanks everyone for listening. Until next time,
keep it brutal.
I feel so